You pressed on this video because you want your room to go from this to this. That's what I'm going to exactly help you achieve to make your room become the ultimate Pinterest girl room. I think the first step that you must take in order to make your room look like a Pinterest room is to plan ahead. You don't know what you want to do and you start doing something to your room. That's the first wrong thing that you're doing. That's what I kind of did. I did not plan ahead. So my room has been in development for such a long time, a way that I think it could have been done almost a year ago. But since trends are coming in and out so fast, it's not giving me enough time to really see what I like. So if you want to make your room, for example, a clean girl room and mix it a little bit with new trends, old trends, or something that you may like, the best thing to do is to plan it and make sure that you know what you're going to do and what you want. The second tip I have, which is kind of part of the first one, is find your aesthetic, because the worst thing that can happen is that you stick on an aesthetic that you like, but you necessarily don't know you'll stick in your room forever. For example, I love indie talk styles from 2020, and that was my dream room when I was 13. However, looking back now, if I was still living in my old house with my old room, and if my room looked like that, I mean, the amount of money I would have probably put into that so that my room could look like that would have been a lot. And seeing how room trends are nowadays, that would have been a really bad choice on my part, because I would have probably been stuck with the same room until now. Nothing wrong with liking what you like, but it all depends on how you change as a person, because I can say I have drastically changed fashion-wise and room-wise. Number 3 is one of my favorite ways to decorate your room, which is super easy, is collages. I think collages are a really easy way to spice up your room, because when it comes to furniture, if you do have a good amount of furniture, you can make a lot out of it. But when it comes to your walls are usually very empty. I mean, my room has a lot of free wall space, and it still does over here and in the other parts of my room. And the best way I've dealt with empty wall space is by making printouts from pictures I find on Pinterest and printing them out in FedEx. These are the prices that you usually pay to get a specific type of printout in FedEx. Number 4 is reusing old furniture. Yes, I know, maybe some of your furniture may not fit the criteria of what you want for your room. Ways to make it look really nice. My desk, I've had it for almost 10 years, and it wasn't even my desk to begin with. Actually, my mom's desk, because when I used to homeschool, I used to use it as my desk. It's not my favorite desk, but I use it and I think it looks really nice if you put the stuff on it that you want. For example, I have my mugs with my pens, my Miffy lamp, and I have my computer and everything, and it all makes sense. For example, my chair next to the shelf is not really one of my favorite chairs, but I make use of it by decorating it with pillows, with a sweater on top that makes it look cute. Decorating, I go on to my next tip, which is my 5th tip, which is organization. Organization is really important. If you want to be a minimalist or a maximalist, you need to organize, because if you don't know what's going on in your room, no one's gonna know what's going on in your room. The best way to organize is getting foldable crates or a lot of drawers where you can just throw things in and close it and make it look like your room is clean. If you don't have an open closet like I do, I usually store a lot of things I don't really show in my videos into my closet, because I know I'm not going to be opening up my closet. I do recommend the boxes I have on my shelf. They're very spacey, they're stackable, they're foldable too. If you are moving, they're really easy to compact in a small space, and they're really cute too, because the color selections are really versatile. Make it for specific things like notebooks, pens, nail supplies, bows, accessories, literally anything. My 6th tip is functional stuff, not just for the pretty. I think one thing I made a big mistake about was getting things because they looked pretty, but were they really functional? For example, functional is the crates I have in my shelf. They're pretty, but they are functional because they are for organization. Something that's not functional is my Copic markers on the top of my shelf. They are not really functional. They're pretty, but is it gonna serve me any use having it up there? Not really. My 7th tip is trends. There's a lot of trends on TikTok that go viral almost weekly, from metal furniture to types of lights for rooms or organization. You have to follow trends that make sense. Trends that make sense are like mirrors or, for example, mugs on desks. I cannot shut up about mugs on desks because they're so cute and they spice up your room. My 8th tip is getting rid of unnecessary decorations. If you have a bunch of strings and paper decorations that you don't really need, or if they look messy or they look old or trashy, throw them away. They're useless unless you make them useful. Only put things in your room that you know that you're always going to have and they're going to make sense and they're not going to be useless or trashy. My 9th tip is unique storage. I feel like I've already said this a lot throughout the video. Mugs. I love mug storage. It is so cute. I also just think, honestly, whatever you use for storage, it can be from metal crates, like I said, to the foldable crates. They work so well. And in the end of the day, if it's storing something that you know that you're going to be using and you know that you're going to be constantly storing, then great, that's what you need to do. Number 10 is ambient lighting. The worst thing you can have is a dark room, because if you really like recording videos, if you like taking pictures of your room, it's not gonna look pretty if it's dark. I have a Miffy lamp, which is really cute for the desk because it gives a little warmth on the desk. Or I have the little mushroom lamp on my night table. Even though it's tiny, when you see it from far away in my room, when I turn off the big light in the top where my fan is, it really gives a nice warmth to my room and it gives some like little ambience, some orange in my room. I definitely want to get myself more ambient lighting. And on my Pinterest board, I have so many ambient lighting ideas. My 11th tip is coziness. When it comes to bedding, it honestly depends on what you really like for your bed. I recommend doing that if you have a plain white bed like I do, get yourself really nice fluffy blankets from animal patterns to a plain color that you really like my gray blanket. Or you can do something like this little cinnamon roll blanket and then get yourself a bunch of plushies. I have so many plushies on my bed. If you haven't seen my Pinterest pictures, you want your room to tell a story. My 12th tip is abstract decor. I love abstract decoration. I think abstract decoration is so unique and pretty. Like the bubble lamps or the mushroom lamps, weird bubble mugs. Like, I honestly think that they're so cute. Vintage or abstract or 80s or 90s decorations are so cute. I love shiny, glossy ceramic decorations. I think that they're so timeless, and honestly, whatever color you like and whatever theme you're trying to get into your room, they really go with everything. Here I have a couple examples of what I'm talking about. My 13th tip is merchandise. If you love specific singers or if you're a big fan of specific shows, put collages of that on your wall. Get merchandise, put it in your room because it shows who you really are. Miffy lamp, I love Miffy, so I got myself a little Miffy lamp. Sabrina Carpenter in the back. I love Sabrina Carpenter, especially her album Short and Sweet, so I decided to get this poster because I just love Sabrina Carpenter. Stranger Things. Stranger Things is one of my favorite shows of all time, and I really want to have a poster of Stranger Things because I love Stranger Things. You can also get DVDs from albums and put them on the wall. My 14th tip is make good investments. If you're going to get decorations, make sure that you're going to get them and you're going to use them for a really long time. Because as trends change over the years, there's going to be some things that stay the same. For example, the metal furniture trend, I know that's going to stay the same for a pretty long time because metal furniture has proven itself to be so timeless and so integratable with literally every single fashion and style choice that people have had over the years. You buy yourself a metal night table, you don't need to worry about having to replace it anytime soon because you're probably gonna have to find a way to use it again. Things that are not timeless are like the 2020 indie trends. They're so cute and so unique, but did we actually stay with the cow rugs or did we all stay with the neon related things? We really did not stick onto that, and the problem with that is that a lot of people had a lot of those things that they bought, and what happened with all that? They had to throw it all away. Something that from 2020 that has stuck on and will probably stick on are LEDs in the room. I have LEDs in my room, but I always have them on white because that's the color I like. Number 15, the final tip of mine, is plants. I think Even if you don't want to have real plants in your room, IKEA offers so many variations of fake plants. I think having fake plants in your room adds some sort of greenery and naturalness to a room, and I definitely really recommend it because I feel like green is such a nice color to have in your room, especially an earthy type of green. If you looked at my pictures of my shelves, I have a type of plant on my shelf, a little vine plant. Same on my night table. I have a type of fake plant on my night table. I have an orchid flower on the top of my shelf. Or you can also get the Lego flowers, which I think are so cute. I think they're really cute and abstract and kind of fit into that abstract decoration section I was talking about. And overall, that's it that I have to say about make your room your Pinterest room. And in the end of the day, like I say, do what you love the most. I'm not telling you what to do. But overall, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that one day you can also have your Pinterest room too. Bye!